What's up, guys?
How we doing?
How's it going?
Hello, Josh.
Yes, sir.
You doing good?
How are you, Robbie?
Rich. Good to meet you guys. Yeah, good to meet you. Yeah, absolutely. You guys get some coffee yet?
Not yet.
No, not yet. All right, cool.
We're about to get some
Cool.
coffee.
Thank you.
So it's not often that I find myself in a gym like this. I can't actually tell you if I've ever been in a CrossFit gym. And the reason being is that you often don't hear that there are hunters in a CrossFit environment, especially the person that essentially has had his name on top of the CrossFit ladder for the last 10 years being a hunter. So when you hear that bugle rip,
Yep.
and you know you've got to get to the top of the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
what are the things that are going through your brain?
Yeah, I think the initial is just like there's an adrenaline dump. It's for me, I equate it to competition.
Is it easy, Rich?
Elk hunting is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Like, don't even.
We can, if you want to go
Sweating over there.
sit up too, like, or we can show you something different than toes to bar. Or
Yeah, I would not. I will try. I've never even attempted a toes to bar.
Rich Froning has recently retired from CrossFit and has decided that he wants to show the world that he is a hunter. When you hear Rich and you see him, Rich essentially lives by his family, he lives by his faith, he lives with his farm, his bison farm, and obviously he lives with CrossFit and fitness. All of those elements combined make Rich who he is. And hunting is very much a part of who he is. Hunting is ingrained in his DNA, it's ingrained in his blood.
So in my nature, I have to protect. It's, I feel like my job as a man, my job as a father, as a husband, I protect those people around me, and it could be my family and it could be people that I just met. I was a firefighter for 4 years. So protect is in my nature. It's who I am. It's something that it was cultivated in my entire life. I'm a competitor. I have to compete. It doesn't matter what it is, and sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. One of 25 or 32 first cousins on my mom's side, 25 are boys, and the girls are just as competitive. So competition has just been ingrained in me in my entire life, and then I have to move. It's kind of a non-negotiable, something I have to do every single day. I partially blame my parents, good and bad. They're the two hardest working people in any room I'm in or they're in. And I also kind of like think of them as sharks. If they were to stop moving, they would die. And that's who I am.
And then you switch, and that's 1 round if you do 10 rounds at a time. Simple. So we're just easy. So originally what I wanted,
just goal today. One goal. Don't vomit.
Survive.
Survive. I've done a CrossFit workout, but it's the first time I've done a CrossFit workout in a CrossFit gym. Love it. Heck yeah, that boy. Yeah.
Why do you hunt?
Why do I hunt? I love it.
You love to kill?
I love to kill.
No, you don't.
I think I do love to kill. But that's a complicated answer. It's not I don't enjoy killing, if that makes sense. I enjoy the competitive side of it. I feel like it's something I'm supposed to do. When I come out of the woods, I feel like a better person. It just feels right. And until you've done that or been a part of that, it's hard to explain that. It's hard to articulate that to somebody who's never been in those situations. And you have a common bond with other people that have, because they know that feeling, and it's to somebody who doesn't have that experience, it sounds cruel, but death is a part of life, and it's who we are, and it's who we were or how we were created. And so for me, yes.
You don't necessarily associate competition with hunting because there may be a negative connotation associated with it. But that competition is often with yourself, going up that mountain, giving the respect to the wildlife that you're chasing as much as you possibly can. You're essentially competing with Mother Nature.
Rich, based on what I've seen the last 2 days, you enjoy misery.
I am a glutton for punishment, I guess. Glutton for punishment for sure.
Nobody should be doing this in the Tennessee heat and humidity.
I like to do things that are hard. I don't necessarily seek trouble, but I like challenge. I enjoy things that are hard. It's something, I need something to push towards, something to train for. I'm not necessarily a goals-oriented person, but I need something to have circled that I'm getting ready for. And I just finished up the Leadville 100 mountain bike race, and I looked at a lot of that as training for elk season, having a good base of climbing and aerobic fitness, and now it's time to get ready for the mountains. I think there's a huge crossover with fitness and Western hunting, especially spot and stalk. I want to put myself in the best position physically so I can take the most ethical shot, be in the best shape, not be as fatigued as somebody else who is not in as good of shape, because I want, one, selfishly, I want to have the highest success rate, and then two, I want for that animal to make sure that it's taken in the most ethical way as possible. And so I need to be on my game in those situations.
Somebody who's at the top of their game for so long, when they retire, they typically would fall off the wagon if they don't have something to really focus on, something that occupies that space that for Rich, CrossFit has occupied for the last 13 years. Rich is a new hunter. It's not like he's been a hunter since he was 3 years old. Rich is new to hunting. Last 3-5 years, he's become a hunter. Hillary, his wife, sees that in him, that hunting has now occupied a space that he needs. He goes into the woods, he goes and hunts. And when he comes back, those stresses that he used to work out in the CrossFit environment have now been worked out because of his engagement in the outdoors, chasing animals, chasing wildlife. And he comes back that better person, that person that he used to come back as when he came back from the gym. But now hunting is filling that role, filling that space for Rich.
Rich, I want you to just close your eyes for a second, and I want you to convey, you're sitting on the side of a mountain, Colorado, meadow. For someone who has never been in the spot that you love to go hunting in, describe it.
Oh man, there's a fresh smell. I think that's the first thing that kind of comes back, to just smell of being in the woods. The grass is kind of swaying back and forth. You've got beautiful mountains in the background. It's kind of the midday break, you know, we're in between some stalks, and it's just peaceful. You're just kind of hanging out with other people with you. And I guess the one word would be peaceful. You know, it's just calm. For me, now that I'm passionate about it, I want to defend that and protect that and allow my kids to have access to that if they want to. You know, I would love for them to share that with me, and we do that. You know, in the last couple of years, I've started getting them into that.
So Rich's family is everything to him. 3 kids, all adopted, essentially his own kids, if you hear him speak about them. His wife, Hillary, following him around the world, following his CrossFit journey all around the world. And now that he's retired, family's first. You'll hear him say, I had to be obsessed, I had to be out of balance for me to achieve what I achieved from a CrossFit Games perspective. But now, it's all about family. It's dropping kids off in the morning, it's picking kids up in the afternoon, it's interacting with those kids after 3 o'clock. That is kid time, that is family time, and he is absolutely methodical, as you would expect a CrossFit competitor, a CrossFit winner to be, that this time here is for family.
Leg. Trice. Trice.
What, buddy? Yeah, but just watch out for snakes and then that grass. Oh, you can't go with the girls. They're coming right back.
So someone may see an Instagram post, a video, whatever it is, of us standing behind what they would call a trophy. And they would say that we are, you know, dumb redneck hunters, whatever you want to put out there. But what they don't see is the camaraderie, the miles, the time spent, not just on the hunt, but getting ready for the hunt, the time away from family, the time shared together, the shared suffering, how hard it was, the amount of money that it took, and the amount of money that goes back into conservation. They may see a killer. Part of you wants to be a killer in a good way, you know. It is like, that's not a bad thing, I don't think. You know, like, yeah, I worked hard for that animal. I did the right things. We worked together as a team and harvested this animal. We killed it first, but that is what it is, you know, and that's part of hunting. And I'm not ashamed of it.
For Rich Froning to say, yes, I'm a hunter, is huge for the hunting community because of the mainstream community that he engages into. The CrossFit community arguably is more than 50% non-hunters. And so if Rich can communicate why he hunts, educate them about hunting, what hunting does for wildlife, what hunting does for people, that is a massive, massive win for what hunting is doing and for who hunters are.
If you eat meat and you're a CrossFitter, then hunting should be the most pure way to get your meat and the healthiest way to get your meat, because there's fitness intertwined with the source of your meat. So I would say, if you've never hunted, find somebody, and this is, you know, this is, I think, another thing as a hunting community, is invite non-hunters. Invite people that have never hunted before to go hunt with you, because that's what happened to me. I grew up hunting or around a hunting community, but just never had the skill to do it myself or was taught the skill. And so I've had a lot of good mentors when it comes to hunting, and still guys that I look up to and bounce ideas off of and still continue to learn from. And so I think as a community, it's education and educating non-hunters. My name's Rich Froning. Everyone has their own story. This is mine. It's in the blood.
Stop touching those because then they swing distractedly in the background and you can still.
Everyone has their own story. It's in, no, dang it.
The audience that is this CrossFit.
Everyone has their own story. This is mine. It's in the blood. This is where it happens. It snowballs. All right. My name's Rich Froning.